yesterday you were going on about tea, right? And the right way to pour tea. As if there's a wrong way. I mean...
Well, because this was a leading professor from Leeds University. He said that you should put the milk in. So if you're going to do tea bag in, then the milk and then the hot water, because the milk apparently helps the tea bag retain its flavour. It's all to do with tannins and things. I haven't got time to read it all.
Do you
but anyway,
do that way,
no, I do not. I always put milk in last, because I think you can see the colour then, because I'm very particular, as most of us are.
Strength.
About the strength. But so many of you are getting in touch, who does put it in the milk first, the milk afterwards, da-da-da-da-da. So we thought we'd get an expert in today, and we've got an etiquette expert. He's
not
very
William Hanson,
yes,
is it? The
very
top man.
The top man.
The guru.
The guru, works for royalty. He knows everything there is to know about the correct thing to do. William, always lovely to see you. Good morning.
Hello, thank you for having me both.
See how polite he is. See how polite he is.
It's not a question of thank you for having you, William. It's thank you for being here for us. Because if anyone's going to show us how to do this and how to do this correctly, it is you. So what have you got to say, my friend, on this?
Well, correctly, I'm exactly with Ruth and what Ruth said. Yes, you've got to put the tea in an empty cup first to see how strong, especially if you haven't sort of, brewed the pot yourself, or you've sort of taken your eye off the ball and you don't know how strong or how weak the tea is. So you've got to see that first to see if you need to let it sit or put some more hot water in. So correctly, the etiquette we would always say is be a post-lactarian. So tea first and then put in the lactose.
Now, I was reading something, William, that putting the milk in first used to have something to do with wealth, a show of wealth. Is that right?
Well, yes. So supposedly in the sort of the Downton era, in the sort of the 19th century, the aristocracy, the upstairs of a house, would be drinking from fine bone china, and that was very well made, very expensive. And so when you put hot liquid, the tea, in, nothing happened. It was all good. But their staff in the downstairs of a house would be drinking from slightly cheaper made clay mugs, not the mugs we have today, but similar shape, but different clay. And so when the hot liquid went inside, sometimes this would make the mugs crack. And so they would add some cold milk first as a coolant, so that when they then put the tea in, it cooled the mug down and it didn't crack. So supposedly in the 19th century, you could tell someone's social background by whether they put their milk in first or last. It is a load of nonsense today, though, because I've seen people from very elevated backgrounds put milk in first, and people from not very elevated backgrounds put their milk in last.
Well, talking of elevated backgrounds, I mentioned there in your introduction that you have worked in many royal households. So how would the royals take their tea?
Well, Her Majesty will always pour the tea itself for the guests, and generally in private service, whether it's a royal household or a smart house, or indeed your own house, it doesn't matter where, always let the guest put in their own milk or sugar, because some people like a little splash of milk. Others like more milk than tea. And so it's much nicer just to let your guests decide rather than do it for them.
And also, who knew, there is a correct way to stir, I'm told. And it's not like that.
It's not round and round making a noise. We don't want any of that. Awful. Instead, we go back and forth in a gentle 6-12, 6-12 motion, and a little flick above, and then setting the teaspoon down in line with the handle.
6-12, 6-12 and a little flick.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you,
no
William.
stirring around and banging the spoon against there.
Life is much richer now knowing all these things. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, William.
Thank you for bringing culture and civilization into our lives. Well,
was it just the 4 sugars?
But, honestly, and William's gone now.
Yes, he's horrified. He's gone, his head in his hands.
Who cares? Who cares? A cup of tea. Who cares?
It's a wee cup of tea now. Is it too hot for you? Sure, it's not too hot for you.
With it. Have you anything to...
I've got something to eat with it, actually.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, we've got to do another item. Oh, here's the competition.
Competition first,
right.
yeah, we'll be back.
£114,000 up for grabs. Peter Andre, Vava Vroom. Would you see what he's got for you?
Which one?
Well, that one.